afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Under the lights here for race number 3 of Season 7 of the NNSCRA Oreo Truck Series. We've raced Daytona, we've raced Phoenix, and now it's time to do a little bit of Speedway racing here, as we're going to be having some really high speeds here tonight, no doubt about that. 3-wide racing is a possibility here, 4-wide is a no-no, but these drivers may end up taking that risk as they try and get themselves set up to make the run for the All-Star race, which, believe it or not, before we know it, it's going to be upon us, and a winner here could end up locking himself a spot in this season's Oreo Truck Series All-Star race. You wouldn't believe it, but they may be thinking that far ahead. Here tonight, though, on the pole position, it looks like it's going to be Haruhi Toshimi. That's her first pole in only her third start here in the Truck Series. And an interesting thing, too, I was actually looking back over the past 2 races we've had 2 different rookie race winners. Can the streak move to 3? That's going to be the question, and we're going to see if that's going to happen here tonight. But she starts on the pole position. Alongside of her is going to be Bob Jones, trying to go to victory lane for the first time this season. James McLeod, been quite a while since we've actually seen him running up at the front of the field. He is 8th in the point standings, however, is McLeod, so he has been consistent. He just hasn't been dominating early on this season like he did back in Season 6. And alongside of him, a driver who did very well in his debut in the Truck Series last week at Phoenix, Zac Campbell, going to start on the outside of row number 2. We'll see how he does in only his second start in the Truck Series. And then in row 3, well, actually, we shouldn't really do that. We should actually wait until the trucks roll up, and then we'll show you the starting grid. So why don't we do that? Instead of me going back giving all this information ahead of time, we have gotten the command to fire the engines. The pace car will lead them around this racetrack, and then we will get ready to go to green flag racing after the 42 drivers are introduced via the starting grid. So there you go, 42 trucks going to peel off of pit road. It's going to be interesting to see what they do here tonight too, because this is going to be a race that may come down to fuel mileage. These drivers usually can keep it green flag at a track like this because there's so much room to pass. So if it comes down to pit strategy, who's going to have the best pit strategy when it comes down to the final laps? As they enter into turn 2, here's your starting lineup for today's Smith's Food and Drug Stores 300. On the pole position, as I said, Haruhi Toshimi. I also failed to mention she comes in 11th in the point standings and 4th in rookie points, so very good qualifying spot for her. She comes in running very well in the standings. Bob Jones lines up alongside of her in 2nd, comes in 16th in the points, so he's obviously been having a pretty good season so far as well. Then row 2, as I said, James McLeod, 8th in the point stands, and alongside of him, Zac Campbell, who had the good run last week. In row 3 is going to be 2 rookies, Jamie DeFelu. He's going to line up in the 5th position. DeFelu actually had a good run last week at Phoenix, moved himself up to 22nd in points after he was dead last in points heading into that event. And alongside of him is going to be Zachary Robinson, 25th in the point standings coming into today's race. Rookie Kyle Matthews lines up on the inside of row 4. Matthews currently comes into this race sitting in 19th in the point standings. Alongside of him is going to be Kyle Thomas, who currently is 9th in the current standings. He's been having a very good season so far. Jackie Tang actually not starting in the final row this week. He started in the final row at Daytona as well as Phoenix. He'll start inside the top 10 on the inside of row 5. Tang comes into this race currently in position number 35 in the point standings, pretty much due to having the poor starting spots. And then Jeanne Sandfer, who comes into this race 2nd in points, trying to run down last week's winner and current points leader Zac Campbell. She'll roll off in the 10th position. Row 6 going to hold rookie Matthew Daly. Daly currently sits 21st in the point stands, and alongside of him, a former Truck Series champion Chris Dollerton, who's really been having a difficult time getting the season started. He's currently 29th in the standings coming into tonight's race. Chris Washer lines up on the inside of row number 7. Washer currently sits 20th in the points, and alongside of him, James Silverfox, who's another driver that's having a difficult time getting his Truck Series program going on this season. He is 40th in the standings coming into this race. Danny Wells lines up on the inside of row number 8. Danny currently is in the top 10 in points, in the 10th position, and alongside of him is going to be Zach Rogers, who's really been having a tough time as well. I think he's had 2 straight DNFs in his first 2 starts of the season. He's 41st in the points coming into this race. Trent Dunham, the defending champ, really not getting off to a good start, comes in 46th 22nd in the point standings out of 43 drivers. He'll start off on the inside of row 9, and alongside of him is going to be Prudence Littlejohn, who actually was en route to a good finish last week at Phoenix, but pretty hard luck knocked her down to 18th in points coming into this evening's race. Row 10 is going to hold Leah Walker, who's actually dead last in the points, has yet to hit double digits in the point stand, as a matter of fact. And alongside of her is going to be Harrison Langford in the 70. Langford currently comes into this race in the 17th position after a good run last week. Alex DeMarco lines up in the 21st position. DeMarco comes into this race 27th in points, and alongside of him, Jacob Lawler is going to roll off from 22nd position, and Lawler comes in 13th in the current standings. Jerome Massetti had a pretty good run last week. It moved him up to 24th in the point standings. He'll roll off on the inside of row 12, and alongside of him, Levi McIntyre, who currently sits 34th in the points, really needs to get himself going if he's going to get himself up into contention. Row 13 is going to hold Luis Hernandez, a rookie there for Hendrick Motorsports. Hernandez currently sits 33rd in points, and alongside of him it's going to be Dylan Young in the 84. Dylan Young currently 31st in the point stands, a former chaser last season. Then we go to row number 14, Jake Cole, going to line up on the inside line in the 27th position, 39th in the point standings for him in his return to the Truck Series. Really not been good runs at either Daytona or Phoenix. He'll try and resolve that tonight, and alongside of him is going to be Deanna Shelton, who's currently 6th in the point standings, having a very stellar year so far in that Chase Elliott 94 truck. Then in row 15 is going to be Kyle Corbett. He's 12th in the point standings, a good run for him, and our points leader, Zac Campbell, is going to start all the way back in the 30th position here today. He comes in with an 11-point lead over Jeanne Sandfer. Then you got the William Duncan machine, who almost ended up picking up the win at Phoenix last week, but he ended up having to finish, I think it was in 3rd place. Duncan, though, is 4th in the point standings coming into this race, and alongside of him, our winner from Daytona, Tanner Sullivan, who comes in 3rd in the current standings. Dillon Poteet, another driver, another veteran that's been having a difficult time getting his Season 7 going here in the Truck Series. He's going to start 33rd here today, and he's 36th in overall standings. And then a 3-time winner last season, Eric Burton, will start off 34th tonight. Burton comes in 30th in the current standings. Joshua Michaels lines up on the inside of row 18. Michaels comes into this race currently in 23rd in points, and alongside of him, Sean Galligan, 7th in the standings coming into this race in the Blue Deuce, trying to pick up his first win of the season after going winless the entire Season 6. Rookie Jimmy Bly lines up in the 37th position. Jimmy's actually been doing well in his first 2 starts, 14th in overall standings right now. And Andreas Allen lines up alongside of him in 38th place. Allen comes into this race 32nd in current points. The driver who actually won this event last year, back in the same ride, he ended up picking up that win. Charles Jackson, starting all the way back from the 39th position. Charles currently comes into tonight's race in the 28th position. Alongside of him, Austin LaPlante, who is currently 26th in the point standings coming into tonight's Las Vegas event. And then in the final row is going to be a couple of drivers that are not unfamiliar with Victory Lane. Cody Lamas will start this race in the 41st position. Lamas comes into this race 5th in the points, so we've got a lot of work to do. And Jake Rogers comes in 15th in the point standings, so both of these drivers have to really work their way through the field if they're going to keep their good positions in the point standings. That's a look at your starting lineup for tonight's Smith's Food and Drug Store's 350 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Green flag is moments away from being waved. Here we go then, getting ready to go under the green flag. Haruhi Tashimi trying to continue the streak of rookie drivers that have gone to victory lane here so far at the beginning of Season 7. There's a few other candidates up here that I would keep an eye out for too. Jamie DeFelu, Jeanne Sandfer. They've really been having a lot of good consistent runs, and if he's able to get up here to the front, Zac Campbell, the points leader, could be en route to maybe 2 in a row. You never know. As the green flag is out, and we're underway here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for 27 laps of racing. Inside line is going to be the preferred line here at this particular track, as Haruhi Tashimi is going to utilize that here coming out of 2. She moves to the lead. McLeod now side by side with Bob Jones. That's for 2nd place. Ooh, Jamie DeFelu looked like he was thinking about 3 wide there underneath the Bass Pro Shop Chevy Silverado. Thought better of it, sticks back in line. As the first lap of the evening is going to be led by the pole sitter, Haruhi. Haruhi Tashimi does have some previous experience in NNSCRA races. She ended up racing back, I think it was in Season 3 or 4, in the Snickers Cup Series. I remember she drove for Front Row Motorsports at that point. And then she's also raced over in the Mobile Cup Series. But wait a minute, here comes a challenge for the lead. Bob Jones, nice crossover move. But he was not able to get the run there. And look who's moved up into third, Isaac Canepa. Canepa ended up picking up a Mobile One Cup Series win last season when he drove for Penske Racing. Now with Stewart Haas Racing, and had a great run last week at Phoenix in his debut, and having a good run here tonight as well in that 14 machine. But now here comes James McLeod trying to get the run back again. Remember, it was early on the season. Oh, there's a spin! There's a spin! I think that was Cody Lamas. Spin on the back straightaway. Is that going to bring out the caution, though? Yes, it is. Caution flag's good away for the first time tonight. Cody Lamas, I think, started in the final row and was trying to work his way to the front. He just got turned around by somebody. And that's going to wave the caution for the first time this evening. Deanna Shelton also apparently got a piece of whatever that was. And there is the 39. So it may have been contact between the 39 and the 94. We may have gotten away with a solo car spin. Oh, there's Sean Galligan back here, too. I don't know if he's back here because he got involved in that incident or just that he's run at the tail end of the field. 7th in the points, not where he needs to run. And Cody Lamas comes in 5th in the point standings. Deanna Shelton comes in 6th in points. So those two didn't need something like that to happen either. Doesn't look like either one of them, though, got a whole lot of damage out of that. So they are going to be able to continue. They will start near the rear of the field, however. And pit stops are going to happen here early on. We told you that pit strategy was probably going to come into play, and it looks like we're going to be seeing it here. Bob Jones electing to stay out. He will be the leader. But Tashimi, Isaac Canepa, James McLeod, Jamie DeFaley, looks like they all came down pit road. As we'll watch here and see what the strategy is going to be. How about we actually jump to our pit road camera? Oh, that's a good look at Victory Lane. And this is the best pit lane camera we've got here at this track, unfortunately. So let's watch the battle off pit road. We're obviously not going to know what kind of strategy Tashimi had. Well, actually, let's see. I'd rather know what kind of a strategy she had. Well, we're not going to find out. Looks like, though, if we look at the James McLeod machine, it's a gas and go, a long gas and go. And why is Canepa passing Tashimi coming off pit road? Whoa, what was that? That was weird. No idea what that was. Just had some kind of technical problems or something. And I'm surprised Deanna Shelton did not come to pit road. But the leader under cautions, looks like maybe about 15 drivers may have stayed out, is going to be Bob Jones. Let's look back at a replay of what happened. Take a look here and see what might have happened to Cody Lamas. Look behind him there. Is there going to be contact between Deanna Shelton and Eric Burton? Yes, there is. And Sean Galligan did get a little piece of that, too. He was behind it. Shelton goes for a spin, Lamas goes for a spin, and those three drivers, the 2:39.94, all came in 5th, 6th, and 7th in the current standings. Shelton actually scrapes the wall just a little bit there with the right rear, but none the worse for wear. All three of these drivers did a great job keeping it together and not really pounding into that inside safer barrier. And it looks like they're going to be able to continue, but they're going to have a little bit of a tough time now because of having to start near the rear of the field, although Deanna Shelton did not come down pit road, so she may not have to encounter that. But the caution flag's out for a 3-car spin, if you will, on the back straightaway. Let's head back now to green. Cars have just crossed the start finish line. The lights are out atop the pace car, which means we'll go back to green flag racing with 20 laps remaining. Bob Jones was the first of the cars to stay out under that caution flag. He'll restart as the leader. Kyle Matthews in second. Third is Chris Washer. Leia Walker currently fourth. 5th, Trent Dunham. 6th is Jerome Massetti with Luis Hernandez 7th. 8th is Alex DeMarco, and the rest of the top 10 are Jake Cole and Zach Rogers. Bruce Littlejohn is in 11th. 12th is Andreas Allen. Levi McIntyre runs in 13th. 14th, Dylan Young. Charles Jackson, last year's winner, is 15th. 16th is Dillon Poteet. Zach Campbell, the points leader, runs 17th. 18th, Eric Burton. 19th is Deanna Shelton, and those 19 did not come down pit road under that caution flag. Haruhi Tashimi was the first car off pit road. She'll restart in 20th. 21st, Isaac Canepa. Matthew Daly, 23rd. 24th place, or actually make that 23rd place is Jamie DeFaley. I messed up there, my apologies. Zachary Robinson, 24th. 25th, Danny Wells. 26th, Jackie Tang. Rest of the top 30 are going to be Jacob Lawler, Jeanne Sandfer, James McLeod, and Chris Dollerton. Nobody retired from the race. Cody Lamas, Sean Galligan, who did come down pit road, will restart in 40th and 41st. We also know that something, I don't know what, but something must have happened to Jimmy Bly because he is way back in the 42nd position without a hood. I don't know what exactly happened to him. May have been an incident on pit road, I don't know for certain, but the green flag is back out, and Bob Jones is the current leader. And now the big question that I'm sure is on everybody's mind is, when are these 19 drivers that stayed out going to have to come to pit road? Are they waiting for maybe a quick second caution to come out, or are they going to have to pit under the green flag? I don't know exactly what the fuel window is for these trucks, but I do know there's good battle raging on for second place. Leah Walker down to the inside of Kyle Matthews. Leah Walker, as I said during the starting grid, has failed to reach double digits. She's only got 8 points so far for 2 starts this season. And according to the point standings, that means that she's run an average of a 39th place finish in 2 races. That is not exactly the kind of numbers you want to have, and Leah Walker trying to bounce back from that. We saw Jamie DeFelu work his way up from dead last in the points up to 22nd in standings after a good run last week at Phoenix. Leah Walker could be in position to do the same kind of thing tonight if she walks away with a good finish, possibly a win. Top 5 are all spread out right now. Bob Jones, Leah Walker, Kyle Matthews all split up, and then I believe it was it Jerome Massetti there in 4th? I know Trent Dunham was, oh no, Chris Washer, and then Trent Dunham in 5th. Whoa, Leia peeking, here she comes. Nice move there in turn 3 by the 99. She's going to get to the inside line. Bob Jones going to be the proverbial sitting duck because he's not going to be able to get that run off the corner. Sometimes we see them get the run off the corner, but not here at Las Vegas, as Leah Walker now goes to the lead here at Las Vegas. Kyle Matthews going to move into 2nd place as Bob Jones is trying to find a place in line. Looks like he'll be able to tuck in front of Chris Washer. Find out how Haruhi Tashimi is doing, the first of the drivers who pitted. How is she doing on cutting her way through the field? Currently in the 18th position right now, and in a hornet's nest back here behind the points leader Zac Campbell. Dillon Poteet there, Prunes Littlejohn in that mix. But Haruhi does have the benefit of being on the inside line, so she's picking up some positions awfully quickly. She got by Prunes Littlejohn. Look at Levi McIntyre back there, 3 wide. Sticking Eric Burton in the middle, and Jamie DeFelu starting to work his way back up to the front there as well if he can. Jump further up here, there's last year's winner, Charles Jackson, trying to win this event for the 2nd straight season. As I recall, I believe the win he picked up here last season was the only win he had in the Truck Series. The defending Snickers Cup Series champion is off the pit sequence as well. He did not come down pit road under that caution flag. So we'll have to see what happens to him. Let's find out the progress of those drivers that got involved in the spin out that put us under the first caution. How about Sean Galligan? Well, he's not exactly picked up a whole lot of position. He's currently running in the 40th position right now. And Cody Lamas isn't doing much better. Currently in 38th place. So both of them, I guess, basically relying on the fact of those green flag pit stops if and when they happen. I don't know. Things are pretty spread out back here. There's Jimmy Bly all by his lonesome. And it doesn't look like we're going to encounter him anytime soon, so that's a lucky thing at least that we aren't going to have a lap traffic that these drivers are going to have to deal with. As right now, Leah Walker leads. Bob Jones, though, right there. Man, he really had to bail out of the throttle. I think he almost punted the back of the Black Ford F-Series. Thought better of it and backed out of the throttle, but it lost him quite a bit of ground. Opened up about a car length and a half between himself and Leah Walker. And as I look at this, Leah Walker could end the streak at 2. We've had 2 rookie winners. We had Tanner Sullivan and we had Zac Campbell in our first 2 races here of Season 7. Leah Walker is a veteran. She's making her return here. I believe the last truck she drove was the number 70 machine. I may be wrong, but I think that was it. I think it was actually the ride that Harrison Langford is currently driving now. Let's take a look to see some of the other good drivers that are up here right now. How about Chris Washer? Nice run for him. Washer comes into this race 20th in points. And 19th in points, Kyle Matthews. So both these rookies having very good runs here tonight due to some good qualifying results. Alex DeMarco, nice run for him. Former winner here in the Truck Series, won all the way back at Thornton in Season 6. And currently running very well here tonight. I believe he actually started on the front row, if I recall correctly, for the Daytona race. Behind him, Dillon Young. Now, these are two drivers here, two veterans, Dillon Young, Trent Dunham. Really did not get off to good starts here in Season 7. Dillon Young, 31st in points, Trent Dunham, 42nd in points. Both of them having good runs here tonight, well-needed runs for both these drivers who were championship contenders last season. Trent Dunham, of course, the driver who won the championship last season. I've been surprised that these drivers have not come to pit road yet. We are currently coming down to 19 of 27 laps completed, giving us a total of 9 to go. And these drivers have not had to come to pit road, so the question is, can they make it the entire way on one tank of fuel? I don't think tires are going to be an issue, because we didn't see those drivers that came down pit road under the first caution take any tires whatsoever. Oh, there's my question answered right there. Leia Walker, Bob Jones, Chris Washer, Kyle Matthews, and Alex DeMarco. They're going to be the first ones to hit pit road here as green flag pit stops are beginning here at Las Vegas. Zac Campbell back there as well. I saw Levi McIntyre, and I couldn't tell who the other machine was. May be able to tell now. Oh, it's Deanna Shelton. And Shelton crossed the line last time by in the 41st position. I think that may have just been because she lost a lot of spots coming down pit road. And here comes Trent Dunham, Dillon Young, Zach Rogers, Charles Jackson. All these drivers going to come down pit road now. Now, these drivers are making their pit stops here on laps 19 and 20. When the caution flag came out, the other drivers made their pit stops on lap 5. Does that mean that they're only 5 laps to the good over the rest of these other drivers? That's the big question. The leader, I believe, has actually cycled around to Haruhi Toshimi. It has. The pole sitter is now back out in front. Jamie DeFelu has now moved into second and is all over the back bumper of the 5 machine. I think Danny Wells, if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw him actually up there in 3rd place right now. I did indeed. And he's being hounded by Isaac Canepa, who's currently now in 4th. Jacob Lawler, currently 5th. Jeanne Sandfer, 6th. Matthew Daly, 7th. Jackie Tang is 8th. 9th is Kyle Corbett. And Chris Dollerton currently completes the top 10. And Jimmy Bly just crossed the start-finish line. We may actually have some lap traffic we will encounter here. 5 laps to go. And the 5 is currently leading. The pole sitter, Haruhi Toshimi. Are these drivers going to have to pit is the question. If they do have to pit, if they only were about 5 laps to the good, they're going to have to pit somewhere between laps 25 and 26. That's with about 3 laps remaining. Are they going to try and save something? Doesn't look like they're saving right now. Jamie DeFelu all over the back bumper of that NOS Dodge. He wants to win this thing. So does Haruhi. Both of those drivers come in running very well in the point standings right now. Haruhi in 11th and Jamie DeFelu, after coming into Phoenix last week, dead last in points, is now 22nd in standings, and another good run tonight could put him up inside the top 10. And they were just about to encounter Jimmy Bly, but Jimmy Bly's got to pit road, and so is Toshimi. So is DeFelu. Now comes the money stop. These drivers going to be the last of the drivers to come down pit road. I don't know if anybody else is going to stay out. Canepa is coming in. I think Danny Wells actually decided to stay out. So that cycles the lead over to the 29, who now I think is out of fuel. Did Danny stretch? Oh no. I think Danny may have tried to stretch it and he just ran out of fuel. No, he just pitted. My bad. He just pitted. He just returned to the track. So did Lawler, so did Jeanne Sandfer. So wait a minute. The driver we got to keep an eye on still is Haruhi Toshimi. Here she comes off pit road. Now, where is Danny Wells in relation to her? Danny Wells, Jacob Lawler, they're the drivers we've got to keep an eye out for. They're going to be coming pretty soon, I think. As Toshimi comes off pit road all alone. There's DeFelu, and oh my goodness, it's a long ways back to the other drivers. I think maybe Tashimi may have just done it. I think she got out first. After the cycle of pit stops, I think Haruhi Tashimi is still the leader. See what happens when she crosses the stripe. Where are they going to score her in? Oh boy, slower car there of Jimmy Bly holding her up. She's currently listed in the 5th position. There she is bypassing Chris Dollerton. I think that may have been for position. Dollerton, I think, stayed out an extra lap. Kyle Corbett, I think, stayed out as well. And coming to the white flag, let's see if Haruhi Tashimi is scored as the leader. Now she's got a lap car between herself and Bob Jones, who I think is now second. At the line, white flag in the air. Is Tashimi the leader? Yes, she is! She is the current leader right now, and she worked out pit strategy perfectly. Slower lap car of Jimmy Bly now out of the way. Bob Jones tries to run down Tashimi here with 2 turns remaining. But Haruhi Tashimi looks like she may go coast to coast thanks to some pretty fancy pit strategy. Out of turn 4 for the final time in only her 3rd career Truck Series start. Haruhi Tashimi wins here at Las Vegas, the Smith's Food and Drug Store's 350, and the rookie streak moves to 3. Wow. Haruhi Tashimi, I don't know what kind of a pit stop she had. I don't know if it was fuel only. I don't know if it was 2 tires or 4 tires, but whatever the case. That was pit strategy at its finest. She got out ahead of everybody and really didn't even have a challenge coming to the checkered flag. Bob Jones was starting to run her down, but it was too little too late. And Haruhi Tashimi picks up the win here today. First win of the season for Dodge, and a great win for the driver who comes in 11th in the current points. Man. Haruhi Tashimi was one of those drivers who came down pit road under that only caution we had. And after all the cycle of pit stops, when everyone had to pit between laps 19 and 25, it was Haruhi Tashimi who was able to be out in front when the checkered flag waved. Let's take a look at the official results here. Tashimi with the win. Bob Jones, great run for him in 2nd place. He was 16th in points, so he could be up inside the top 10 in the standings after we leave tonight. Jamie DeFelu, I think this is back-to-back top 5 finishes for him. He'll finish 3rd here tonight. Man, 2 great runs after finishing dead last at Daytona. Leah Walker led a bit of this race. She'll finish in 4th place. Chris Washer in 5th. And talk about Leah Walker, dead last in points. I think she's definitely going to hit double digits, and I don't think she'll be dead last in points after this evening's race. Kyle Matthews and Chris Washer, 5th and 6th. Great runs for both those rookies. Danny Wells, he ended up not really being talked about here tonight, but an excellent run for him in the 7th position, and he comes in 10th in points too, so he'll solidify himself still in the top 10 heading next week. How about last year's winner, Charles Jackson? Comes back here to his old stomping ground and comes away with a top 10 finish. Great run for him. Trent Dunham really need to get his program going to get himself back into contention for back-to-back Truck Series championships. 42nd in points coming to this evening's race. I don't think that's going to be the case heading to next week, as he finished in 9th tonight. Great run for Earnhardt Ganassi Racing as well, with or I should say Sega Racing. The both of them actually out of Sega Racing now, the newly named team, in 8th and 9th. And Jacob Lawler, didn't talk about him much, but the guy who comes in 13th in points, a very solid run tonight in the 10th position. How about the rest of the drivers inside the top 10 in points? Let's see where they finished in this race. Jeanne Sandfer, 2nd in points. She's going to finish 14th. Zac Campbell finishes in 15th, right behind her. So Campbell may have actually held on to the points lead. I don't know for certain. We'll find out. Look further down here, try and find the rest of the front runners. Deanna Shelton officially finished the evening in 27th place after her spin. Cody Lamas in 28th. And where did Sean Galligan finish? In 40th place. Bad run here tonight for the Blue Deuce. He may have fallen outside the top 10 in points. Don't know. Kyle Thomas also finished poorly tonight in the 39th position as he came into this race in the 9th position in the points. Where's William Duncan? Duncan's going to finish this race. Where in the world is he? Oh my goodness, he finished 41st. No wonder I couldn't find him. I don't know what happened to Duncan, but after 2 good runs at Daytona and Phoenix, a very poor performance tonight for him in 41st place. And the other drivers that we haven't looked at are Tanner Sullivan and James McLeod. Tanner, you see there, finished 34th. Poor run for him. And McLeod, after being up front for a majority of this race, 31st place. Pit strategy did not work out well for the Bass Pro Shop Chevy. So some drivers who came in running well in points finished well. A lot of others did not. And so that's going to definitely shuffle up the points, I would think, heading into next week's race. We still got Mobile and Snickers Cup Series competition coming your way here from Las Vegas. Wonder if it's going to come down to pit strategy in those events as well. But hope you guys enjoyed this evening's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. Congratulations to Haruhi Toshimi on her first career Truck Series win, as she moves the streak of rookie wins here in Season 7 now to 3 in a row: Daytona, Phoenix, and Las Vegas. Here comes your official finish results, overall point standings, and rookie points heading into next week's race, which is going to be from the track that you guys voted the majority on, the Milwaukee Mile. We are going to be going there for race number 4 for some good old short track racing. Well, not really short track racing, but mile track racing, I should say. Hope you'll be tuning in for that. And we will see you guys next time, as you've been watching a production of the SRA Offline Racing at its best.